Okay, I had one of those, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense moment with AI this week, and I had to absolutely share it with you because I think that this is the piece that's missing for a lot of it. It was like this aha moment and something I've been doing but didn't really was doing. So you know how sometimes AI works really, really well, and then other times you're like, why is this so off? Like I've literally done everything I know of to make it give me the right answer. And here's what clicked. Oh my goodness. It's not about giving AI information. It's about giving it the right amount of information. Okay. This literally blew my mind. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Samantha. You can call me Sam. I'm a wife, mom, homesteader, multi-passionate entrepreneur, and I love coming alongside and helping moms learn how to steward their time well and to live a life where they can leave a legacy and to live a life of meaning and purpose. So whether that is with my other podcast, the Woman of Courage podcast, where you listen my life story and how we do things around our farm and homestead and in life in general, or whether it's here where you're learning all the tips about AI and how it can be used to make your life so much better, not replacing you, but taking a lot of things off your plate that you would have hired out anyway had you had the budget. So if you want to learn more about me, you can head over to the Woman of Courage podcast. But if you're just here for the AI tips, amazing. Stick around, binge listen to the episodes, whatever you want to do. I am so glad you're here. Okay, let's get into this information. So, yes, it's all about, yes, the right info, but giving the right amount of info. You don't want to give too little because if you give too little, it doesn't have enough content. But you also don't want to give everything you've ever created. And this makes so much sense that AI can only hold so much content. So, whatever language model you're using, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Claude, Gemini, Grok, anything, they can only hold so much content. So, when we dump in every podcast episode, email, blog, or whatever it is we've ever written, it completely overwhelms it. And then the output just gets messy and all over the place. And we're like, why are you giving me such bad output? I literally gave you my heart and soul. But if you give it like one clear starting point, like a framework, a few page document that lays out exactly what you want, a couple examples, then it's going to give you so much better of an output, like drastically better. The way I started thinking about this, and I feel like this makes a lot of sense to me, so I hope it makes a lot of sense to you, is if I hired an assistant. So if I wanted to hire an assistant to help me with whatever project it is that I want to have help with, and I barely gave her any direction, she would completely struggle. Whatever project I wanted her to help me with. So if I hired her and let's say I sat her down and I basically was like, okay, I, my business is this. I want you to write emails for me. She'd be like, okay, so what type of email? Like how long an email? Like what are we doing? She would struggle with that because I didn't give her enough info. But what if I sat my assistant down and I handed her a giant pile, thousands of pages of everything I ever wrote, and then I said, "Okay, I need you to figure this out. So you need to go and you need to study every single page of this. You need to learn all of everything." Well, she would also struggle because I would have all of a sudden given her so much info. She would be completely overwhelmed and she'd be like, I don't even know where to start. There's so much here. So either way is bad, not giving enough info and then she's struggling, or giving way too much info where she's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. This is so much. But what's awesome with AI is there's this happy middle ground where thing just works. So say I sat my assistant down and I handed her over like a 20-page document of an SOP, so a standard operating procedure. And I was like, okay, so this is exactly what I do after I record a podcast episode, for example. And so page one goes through, okay, so after the episode is done, then this is how I choose the title. This is how we write the show note. And this is an example of one title that worked really well. This is an example of a couple show notes that worked really well. And then the next page I might say, and then we do an email letter. And then this is an example of an email letter that did really well. I'm tending to speak to this type of person. And so I want the emails to be more casual and blah, blah, blah. Basically, you know what I mean. So instead of overwhelming her with, here's everything I've ever done, or basically saying, here's a super general who I work with. Now I just want you to just do this. I'm giving just a basically a precise standard operating procedure, so an SOP, and I do this within ChatGPT in projects. So I pretend a project is an assistant, and I write out a PDF that has the instructions that has like, when this happens, then this happens. And here's an example of what worked well with this. And here's an example of what worked well with this. And I have this, it's only like 2 or 3 pages long that I put into that project so that when, for example, the project for like podcasting, so every time I put a podcast transcript into that project, that assistant knows exactly what to do. It knows, like, oh, okay, perfect. Transcript has been delivered to me. Here's the step by steps of what I need to do after that happens. And so it's not completely overwhelming. It's very clear. And that's what we need to do. So whenever you're using AI in any sort of capacity, just assume that it's like an assistant, that it can have too little info, can have way too much info. And also, as an assistant who doesn't know what you're thinking and can't read your mind, you have to be precise in how you explain. Like, you have to learn how to explain exactly what you want. You have to be able to explain exactly what you want precisely, but not overwhelm and not be too vague, basically. So, anyway, I hope this was super helpful for you and that you can go and now start using these AI models, whether it be ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, whatever you're using, it's all the same principle that you can go and you can actually get the outputs that you want because of this principle. So if you enjoy these AI podcast episodes, the very best way to support me is to leave a review and follow the show. It means so much to me. I read all of my reviews. And if you would like a rundown on how to make sure AI does not sound like AI, then hop on over, grab that freebie so that you can take this information here and that information, put it together so that you can have outputs from AI that actually feel like an assistant has helped you. Okay, until next time, go make AI work for you.